Me M33 and wife F31 together since teens, marriage in crisis. Background: me M33 and my wife F31 have been together for 19 years. We got married when we were in our early 20s, and we have an 11-year-old kid together. We've always been inseparable and did everything together. We used to be crazy about each other's, and still few years ago people commented how our connection is amazing. We are also introverts and spend much time at home. For the last 2 weeks we've had excessive amount of serious talks about our marriage and what is wrong in it. I became aware of the issues when my wife told me in the beginning of the summer that she is feeling unhappy. We had few talks, but I didn't really understand the seriousness of the situation. I tried to bring some enjoyment to our day-to-day life, but basically felt anxious about tackling the situation and kind of wanted to not talk about it. Everything changed 2 weeks ago. I asked her if she was still feeling the same, and she said yes, she's still unhappy. She told me that she has started to experience that feeling for about a year now, and she was hoping that it would go away on its own, but it doesn't. She told me that the issue is not in me, but it's in our relationship. She also told me that she isn't in love with me anymore, even though she still loves me. She basically feels that the love is kind of platonic. We just last year bought our first owned house and are in major debt because of it. She had hoped that the house would have made her happy, but it didn't help. Other issue was that she's having an identity crisis. She just turned 30 and she feels she doesn't have goals, personal interest and stuff like that. Like I said in earlier, we've been together since we were kids, and we have always been together any chance we got. Be it with friends, going out, watching movies, etc., we did everything together. She also mentioned that she always puts others first. Now it's time to be selfish, and I understand her feeling that way. It came quite clear that she doesn't know what she could do to start fixing the issue, or if she wants to fix it. This was very hard to hear, and my first reaction was panicking and pleading. She told me that she doesn't really care to try fix the situation, and she was hoping I was feeling the same so that this would be easier. During the discussion she was extremely cold, showing no emotion whatsoever. I felt horrible after the discussion. This woman has been the love of my life. I know our day-to-day life has become extremely unengaging, and we haven't done anything to maintain the relationship for a while, but I couldn't picture life without her. We have grown up together, experienced so much together, and been there through thick and thin. I can't fathom how after 19 years she isn't interested to fix the issues and is thinking of separation just like that. Next day I realized that I can't panic now. I must start taking care of myself mentally and try to make sense of the situation. I know myself and I have a tendency to get the blues, but this is not the time to go passive. I also realized that even though we have to discuss the issues, I have to show her that we can still enjoy time together and really try to start doing active things together, and not just be bored in the house together. I planned an evening for just the two of us and got someone to look after our child while we went out. We went for a dinner and started discussing the situation deeply. I told her I still love her and I want to fight for us. I know that to fix this we have to change, and I want to change. I want us to change. We've been together for so long and we have a kid and a life together, so we should at least try counseling and trying to find ways to tackle the issues. I know it's a long road, but we owe each other's to at least give it a shot. I've had major anxiousness this whole time. During these times I have read a lot about relationships and personal needs. I've come to realize that we've had a codependent relationship. We can't really enjoy time apart, and she has done so much to please me. She hasn't really built her own life. She doesn't really have any close friends either. She just hangs with me and my friends. Once I started to think about it, I realized this must be a major reason why she's having identity issues. Everything about her is about me. I initiated a discussion and told her about codependency, and I've also realized that my identity is not healthy either. I can't enjoy being alone in home even if I do solo stuff. When we are together, I sometimes think that she will soon go to bed, then I can enjoy my solo time. I need her to be present to feel good. I think we are not whole alone, and that's something that needs to be handled. I propose that we, and especially her, need to start taking solo time with good conscience. I want her to rebuild her friendships, be able to go as she wants, and when we are home, I don't want that we have to do something together all the time. I want to create healthy boundaries. We agreed that from now on, Monday to Friday is solo time and weekends are spent together. She seemed to like the idea and was relieved that I had become calm and recognized the same problems. My mood is like a roller coaster. I've had stable and strong days and at times felt anxious and fear. At times I can't stop thinking about the situation, how everything is up in air at the moment, and then there are days where I can accept that this is not really in my hands and all I can do is take care of myself. We let few days pass without much interaction and discussions about the issues, just to regain energy and not to make all our time together be about serious things. Few days later we had a quick discussion and she told me that she hasn't really thought things trough because it feels so hard to go through the emotions. She can't pinpoint what is making her unhappy, but it's not just her personal issues, it's our relationship. She told me she loves me and wants to try to fix the situation, but still she feels she doesn't want to do any work to rekindle her love for me. The discussion ended in good spirit and I felt I gained more mental strength. After the discussion we went to bed and she cried for the first time. She said she doesn't want to analyze her emotions or situations cause it's hard, and that's why she is so cold to me. She told me that she is hoping that she feels something during our 19th anniversary, which is tomorrow. We haven't really progressed much from there. We've had good discussions, but she is unable to open up to me. She told me that she is not able to think about things even when she is alone. It's like she's mentally stuck in an unhappy place and she can't make sense of anything right now. She has stopped saying she loves me. Previously she said it almost daily. I realize that I can't pressure her. I try to stay calm and show her that I'm serious about improving myself and not just because of her. She has really appreciated how I've started to handle this. I went back to working out. I fixed my sleep schedule and try to find positiveness in the situation. I realize that no matter what happens I have to start taking care of myself mentally. We have started to sleep close to each other, something we haven't done in years. She even initiated intimate time once during these 2 weeks. I started to study philosophies and motivational stuff to keep myself going. I have come to realize that there is a big chance this is going to end in a divorce, but there might still be a chance to find motivation to start rebuilding our relationship. We have agreed that we don't think about the future at the moment and just live one day at a time to see how these changes will feel and if she can catch any feelings toward me. Stoic philosophy has given me hope and helped me stay calm by thinking that I am able to control myself, but not her. I have started to sync our sleep times to be able to start and end the date together, while in the past we had totally different sleep times. Since we avoid each other's during weekdays, I think it's good to share those moments together. Kind of get ready for the day and be able to share how the day went. I've tried to think when she became unhappy and it led me to realize that I haven't been happy either. I know that 2 years ago we were happy and after that our lives have changed so much. I started a job where I was underqualified and I brought the stress home. She started a new job a year ago that is really taxing on her and she's basically reachable 247 on her job. We also started studying for degrees. Did house hunting for over 6 months and now we have a big house. There's been so much stress in life that they must have taken a toll too. At this point I want to say that our interaction has been amazing these 2 weeks. We are able to be mostly happy while we are together, have deep honest discussions and after them regain calmness and carry on. Both of us have complimented each other's how they are handling the situation. We've agreed to try solo and couples therapy and set up date nights and agreed to give each other lots of solo time and space. I try to maintain calm attitude and show myself and her that life can be good together. Our anniversary is tomorrow and I'm so stressed. I'm doing my best to not get my hopes up and just go with an attitude like we're just going to enjoy each other's time. Since she told me earlier about her expectations, I can't help feeling anxious. I have booked us a overnight visit in a hotel with spa services. I booked us a personal massage in the same room and a table at a restaurant. Divorce frightens me. I have never been alone. I was 14 when we started dating. I feel like I'm never going to find another woman who could match her, and besides neither of us have ever dated others. I think the single scene would be so bizarre to us since we have no experience in normal relationships. Besides that, we have been together for 19 years and we have a kid together. I don't think I could even get a chance to forget her. Part of me also feels bad. We are both people pleasers but I'm more dominant than her and I realize that I've been selfish and we've done much how I want things to be done. This is something I want help with therapy. This side makes me think, should I just let her go so she can heal alone? Will I just cause unhappiness in her life? I'm stressed how this is going to affect our child. I'm also thinking what we would do with our house. In our country, if you sell the house before 2 years have passed, they tax you heavily, so we should own the house for at least another year before we should sell it. I also think, how long will I have energy to keep this going on? I was hoping to get others' thoughts. Have you been in a long relationship or feel other things that are relatable? I'm hoping therapy is able to make her open up, since I'm not able to do it. Update 4.8. Thank you all for the support. It means much to me in these moments. Constructive criticism has also been welcome. I know I need to work on my issues to be the best version of myself, and I want to change because of myself. Anything else is just extra. I thought I would update you how things are going. On Thursday I contacted one of my wife's friend and asked her to contact my wife, that we are going through things and I know she could really use a friend ATM. So on Friday after work my wife went to meet her. I personally spent the afternoon thinking about what anniversary gift to give her. She loves perfume, so I contacted multiple friends and asked what brands she has complimented, and went through 2 towns to find one of the perfumes. I found it in the town where we had previously lived. After that, a friend contacted me. He was in a terrace having a beer, so I went to meet him and got a cold one. After a moment my wife contacted me and asked what I was doing. I told her I was having a beer and she replied that they would come and join us. She came and I made sure not to make the moment about her, but about friends and having fun. We had so much fun and I was on fire, blasting jokes, and my wife and friends were laughing hard. During the drinks many old friends passed and joined us. In the end we had a big group hanging out. Later when I talked with my wife how it was fun seeing old friends, we both realized that we miss our old home and it's rough not having any friends in the new place we live. I think that factors in our happiness also. Anniversary day was amazing. She got the gift in the morning and loved it. She was so thankful for it and surprised how I knew what she wanted. We left with a car to the harbor blasting new songs that we had found. Music has always been important to us and also a way to connect. We were so distracted by having fun that we went to the wrong harbor and almost missed our ship. On the cruise ship there was a moment that had a surprising effect. I called our hotel and talked tourist English. After the call my wife laughed how my accent was so bad, so I explained I always make service calls like that, and we switched to talking English as a joke. When we were young we used to do lots of role plays. Not sexually but to have fun, so I had an idea and told her to go to the shop and I would later go there and bump into her. We haven't done this in years. Our roles were like we were our true selves but didn't know each other. Without going to details, this play had an amazing effect. We started talking and telling about our lives like we'd just met and flirted back to each other. I enjoyed listening to her and got truly excited when she told me about things she enjoyed. When we got to our hotel, she initiated an intimate moment and there was passion on both sides that we haven't seen in a long time. During the act we didn't roleplay. Day went fast and she was very grateful for everything and enjoyed her massage. Overall everything was perfect. We had fun, no dull moments, lots of kisses and selfies together. At night I did F up. We went to a cocktail bar that had a great DJ and amazing margaritas. I got drunk and we were looking at the pictures we had taken and I bursted to tears. She tried to downplay it so that we could continue the night, but I got too emotional so we started to leave. I talked way too much during the walk to hotel. I told her what I felt during the day and she downplayed it by saying it was just playing and we have so much baggage that we can't just pretend. I went to shower and sobered up. I apologized for the way I acted and we both agreed that drinking wasn't wise in a situation like this. Next day was great and we had a small talk about our situation. I told her that I agree, we have baggage that can't be denied, but if we're going to fix our marriage we have to try to overcome it and not hang on to them. She agreed. We went home and prepared for a serious talk with our child. The talk wasn't about this, it's a personal matter. I handled the conversation calmly and affectionately. My wife later told me she was impressed how I directed the conversation. Later we took glasses of wine and went to sauna and bed together. Overall I think the weekend went great even though there was drama because I couldn't handle my emotions. Yesterday I went to work and realized that I'm not able to do work. I went to the doctor and did a mind state quiz and got extremely negative results, and they prescribed antidepressant drugs to me and a 2-week sick leave. I'm going to a psychiatrist tomorrow with the mindset of opening up about my personal traits that I want to work on and also how to handle the anxiety in this situation. I went home feeling down and started to write my thoughts on paper. Doing that, I realized I'm not processing this situation with the right mindset. Negative thoughts have been controlling me. I've been thinking my wife doesn't love me and feeling anxious about it in fear of the unknown. I should be thinking that I still sleep next to her and we are both still trying. She could have left already, but she hasn't. I'm thinking how the negative mindset paralyzes me mentally and creates an atmosphere where neither of us feel good. It also diminishes any chance of a shared future for us. After these thoughts, I felt great. I started to clean before my wife would come home and made her coffee ready so she could have it when she would arrive. I greeted her with positive vibes and we went to drink our coffee. I could sense that she was stressed. She had a crazy day in work and it had exhausted her. I made sure to ask a lot of questions so she could tell me how she was doing, and I concentrated on just to listen to her and empathize. I asked her if she would like to join me for a walk and we could possibly go eat something. She told me she didn't feel like it. I started to get ready to leave alone. I don't want to be stuck home together, but I noticed she was going to start cleaning and still looked stressed, so I asked one more time if she would like to join. Maybe walking could ease her mind. She agreed and left with me. She looked so pissed when we left, and I let her vent everything about work and people. The talking, walk and a dinner worked, and she looked relieved. After that, I felt I should leave and see a friend I haven't seen a long time. I was thinking that we already had a walk. She looked better. We have agreed to do solo time on weekdays, and I need to enjoy my solo time and rebuild my friendships. It was great to connect with a friend. Usually I ask everyone to visit me at home. I never go anywhere, so when he invited me to come visit him in near future, I was thinking that would do good for me. I went home at night and my wife was in the bed but wanted to come talk with me. After she had asked how everything went, I sensed she was kind of jealous of me enjoying my solo time. She told me that she didn't enjoy her time alone. She didn't have energy to go visit friends and wasn't really interested too. I told her that meeting people that make you feel good is important, and as part of her identity crisis she should rebuild her friendships. Maybe just go for a quick coffee if nothing else, but do the effort of seeing people. I personally think that she being home alone and getting bored is good for her. Then she has to start acting on it and find ways to enjoy solo time. She said she feels like I and our kid are always waiting for her to come straight home. I reassured her that she doesn't have to feel like that and we are not thinking like that. I felt really bad seeing how she felt. I also told her that we really need to spend time apart from each other and concentrate on our personal needs. I even told her that both of us should focus on personal issues and only after that return back to see if we are able to fix our marriage. If we don't work on ourselves, fixing our marriage isn't possible. She seemed relieved that I want her to think about herself first and not put marriage as the first priority. It felt good to find a sympathetic mindset and be able to act unselfish. Update: together since teens, marriage in crisis. I've tried showing my love and appreciation to her. It hasn't worked. She has appreciated my changes, but they haven't created any feelings in her. We've had lots of discussions and we always start looping on the same issues. The discussions haven't been constructive. We just get stuck on the negative. The discussion always shadows the whole day. We might have a good day together, but once we start the conversations we both feel terrible and she feels like it was awful to be together and it becomes the major memory of the day. Last week we were separated for 3 days and both of us felt better after that. We went to a therapist last weekend and he told us how marriage is so much more than just falling in love, how avoiding conflicts has created a barrier between us. He also told how couples' image changes after their child starts to feel independent. All of a sudden you have more time together, but since we haven't built on our relationship for a while, something seems to be missing. He also told us that looping on the issues is not constructive and will not yield anything good. I saw lots of value and hope in the therapist's message, but my wife felt completely differently. She felt she needs to follow her instinct even more, and she was really impressed how confident the therapist was as a person. She was almost idolizing him because of that. We had a good day together after that. I didn't take any of her opinions personally or let them hurt me. Just tried to understand. Later that day she said she would like to talk about us, and I told her it might not be a good idea since we always start looping non-constructively. Wouldn't you know, it happened and the evening was awful for both of us. We went to see my brother who has been able to be neutral in this situation and supporting us both. He helped direct our conversation and my bro and me, we both made sure to let my wife air out her opinions and give her room to talk. I told my brother near the end that we are going to start a week-long separation and after that we will take a trial time together, and we will see if it works or not. She lit up and told me that she has felt I have dominated the discussions previously and basically offers the idea that we will get over this as a couple. What I just said was like I respected her feelings. We both felt like weight went off our shoulders and smiled and hugged. We came to conclusion we are not able to discuss our marriage together. We need a third party to guide us, and we have to stop looping on the issues and try to leave them behind to really give us a change. We had a great night together after that together. This all got me thinking and I finally realized where the issue is. I have always believed that we are inseparable and our love is forever. This has resulted in me not building on our relationship and taking her for granted. My actions have caused her to feel low self-worth. How I've handled the crisis has been like I haven't respected her opinion. When she tells me the issues, I just explain logically how they are fixable, and this must have felt like I don't take her seriously or respect her opinion. Without respecting her, of course she feels awful with me. This behavior is actually separating us further. On the second day together I told her that and she told me that I'm finally understanding her and she haven't been able to come to the same conclusion yet, but that is actually the issue she is having. I've spent lots of time thinking about us and me as a person, and I've started to improve myself as a person. I think it's a good sign that I want to change for myself and I don't want to go back to our old relationship. In that sense, we are both on the same page. I've also realized that if we are able to get past this crisis, our relationship would head in a healthy direction and could actually be stronger than it has ever been. We have now started the week-long separation. She's at her mother, I'm at our home. I feel like we are in the right direction, but am not sure what to do next or how to interact with her when she returns home. My doctor also approved of my logic and of the decision how I'm trying to revive our relationship. I think I have to show affection and love, but since she doesn't have any feelings for me, I have to stay stable, confident, not needy, show her respect and help her build her confidence. Maybe I just have stopped showing love. Give her room when she comes back and show her that I understand her and respect her decision. Maybe by respect she could feel that things have changed and she can feel good with me. One thing I also realized today that our last life goal was buying a house. It's now done, so there is nothing to wait for together. But this is not a time to create goals together. Any opinions on my approach? Update, goodbyes to her. These were the words that ended our 19 years as a couple. She told me that she hadn't made a decision yet but was leaning towards starting fresh. This summer has been a wake-up call. I've lived without a destination and taken you for granted. It's a pity that once you lose everything that matters, you finally see the true value in them. Only then you start questioning who you really are. What do you want out of life? You realize that true happiness comes from within. I've showed you my weaknesses and taken responsibilities in my errors and wrongdoings. I've showed that I can't return to my old life and I want change. I can't live on autopilot anymore. I am proud of. You have shown bravery and motivation to improve yourself. It's not selfish to prioritize your well-being. We both needed this and I am grateful for that. I feel I can learn from this and not repeat my faults in the future. I've realized things about love that I didn't know before. Love between man and a woman is not unconditional. It's not forever and requires upkeep from both parties. Love is not once in a lifetime event. Your heart can break but it won't die. Love starts from your well-being and can be achieved with the person again or with someone else. Love is not just a feeling, it's also a decision. I love you and I believe that through crisis we could find love and happiness that we have never experienced, but that requires that we both want it. This is why I feel that if you're trying to work things out just because of me, I am ready to let go. I love myself and you too much keep clinging on to you. We laughed and cried together and had a great conversation after that. Waiting is finally over. Edit, this was my response to her. Update, you're the one with no value. I've realized that this isn't about the past, it's about this moment. Divorce is happening because for the last 2 years we didn't upkeep our relationship and you stopped loving me. When you suspected that I don't love, I'm just used to your company, that hurt me so much. I now realize that those were your feeling. You didn't love me anymore, you were just used to my company. You have created a negative image of me so that the divorce is easier for you. Like a sucker, I took that bait and blamed everything on myself. Truth is, I've been standing by your side, from a small boy to a grown man. I have taken care of you when you've been down. I know I had a tendency to be critical and negative, and that's a wrong way to show my powerlessness, but no one is perfect. Not even your next guy. With time you will realize that you broke our family with a selfish way. A way that shows you saw no value in our marriage to even try to fix the situation. You said you were afraid to feel unhappy for the next 2 years, and during our anniversary you made me agree with a handshake that if you don't fall in love with me during this month I have to give you the divorce nicely. You already knew that you weren't interested to save us. You were the last person I would have expected to turn into an evil person. When you abandoned me you showed me that you are heartless. You don't deserve me or my love. Edit, this might be a bitch move, but whatever, I have to stay true to myself. I had an awful day filled with hate and emptiness. I went to the gym and like always, it was therapeutic. When I left I realized I'm acting out of being hurt, and that's not going to help me or make my situation any better. I've known her for 19 years and she is not the same person at the moment. Personally, I think she's kind of a mess at the moment. My daughter told me yesterday that mom just sleeps and watches Netflix, so she's doing the same thing since before the crisis. I was expecting her to be on self-improvement road like I am, but no. I opened my phone and she had sent me an email where she thanked me for everything and hoped that I would feel better and we would be able to co-parent. It felt like she pitied me. I pulled myself together and decided to take the higher road so that I can feel better, and since she was a perfect partner for 19 years I don't want our last communications to be full of hate. I unblocked her on WhatsApp and sent this message to her. Thanks for your honesty about your feelings. I also want to thank you for all the everlasting memories from our years together. I agree that we will be able to provide loving homes to our daughter. This has been a roller coaster, but it's natural when you're dealing with love and loss. I accept this divorce, but I want to tell you that I love you and I miss you. I will take your feelings into consideration and understand that you need space at the moment. Maybe I'm an idiot, but I still have a small hope that maybe with time our roads will unite again. I know we both need our independence now, but we have so special background and relationship that I have to believe. I know I have to move forward, but I have to leave the door open for future. Update, well, she's just making this easier for me. Out of nowhere my SDBXW sent me a voice message that she would like to go bowling today or tomorrow. She would also like to come help cut dog's nails tonight. I thought about it for a few hours and sent her a message saying that our separation is still so fresh that I don't see a point going as a family. I think we should learn to do things separately. I also declined help with the dogs and told her that my bro will help me, no need for her. 1 minute later she replied with this message. Okay, but this is awkward, I meant him going with daughter. I replied that oh well, okay. You just said about today or tomorrow and you know this is my day with her. Anyway, I think it's a great idea, take her tomorrow. After that she said sorry for confusion, but I didn't answer. Gonna minimize contact even more after this stunt. I felt that she wanted to smash me back to ground for thinking that she would ask me to join their company. It felt bad, but in the end she's actually helping get over her. I can't value a person like that. How could I love someone who doesn't have any concern for my well-being? I'm so glad I didn't take her on the offer. At least now she knows I want nothing to do with her. It's just so crazy. For almost 2 decades she was my favorite person, and now I don't know her anymore. I don't even want to get to know the new her. Edit, I asked my kid. They didn't do anything but watch TV. Update, finally able to shift my energy. I'm starting to feel better. I've been able to shift my energy away from STBXW. I've partied hard, haven't slept around because being single in a bar reminds of flies around it. I was going to take a vacation with friends, but now that I can finally focus on my child I will go with her and focus on being there for her and showing that life will be good. I've kind of neglected my child during this time. I just haven't been able to prioritize her over my SDBXW, but last week has been amazing on my healing even though Turi's still a long road ahead. I've been able to be present and really spend time with her. Tomorrow when she's with me we're going to bake cookies first time together without mom. Update, singed the divorce doc and sent this letter to her. Even though I'm disappointed we wound up in a situation where I loved you without you loving me back anymore, I still wish you all the best and that you find happiness. I've actually been proud of myself. I've let my emotions get the best of me a few times and I don't know how you view it, but I have proven with my actions that my love for you was real and strong. I didn't try to toxically own or sabotage you when we separated. I proved my love to you and let go when I realized you didn't want it. My love for you was selfless. I was prepared to be vulnerable and I gave you my all. After all these years I still felt the same way about you. You were still the same girl that I had a crush on when I was 14 years old. I'm real, sensitive, a good man and a father. I gave you my all and I hope that you will remember me like that. There will be other people in our life but no one will share what we have shared together. Thank you for everything. Update, 4 months after separation. It's been over 4 months since our separation and the divorce process has been started. When she F32 left I 34 meters sunk to the bottom. I've never been so low. I spent my time crying, blaming myself for everything and feeling suicidal. It took me a while to stop idolizing her and realizing she's not perfect. She's an incomplete human just like me. I spent my time self-reflecting and trying to learn from our relationship and my own behavior and reasons behind it. I started to realize that this hardship has been a growing sprint and even though my heartache felt like it was killing me I've been grateful for the possibility to grow. This is my road to becoming a better version of me. It feels good to be independent. I'm definitely getting better but it's still hard. I still see dreams and nightmares about her. I still wish her the best and curse her to hell. I think it's natural just like I realize her leaving me to live a youth she missed is natural. She was beside me since my teens and after 19 years she's just gone. She hasn't hesitated her decision, not even once. She cut connection to our friends, wants to get rid of the dogs she wanted and cherished for years and our kid has had few big breakdowns but my STBXW is in denial and never thinks anything is connected to our family life changing. It seems everything about old life must go and she doesn't want to have any responsibilities she has acquired in her previous life. She even took a huge debt to buy brand new stuff to her apartment. She didn't really want anything from our home. I've felt it's very important to handle everything with empathy and not with bad emotions. Being apart has given me chance to see the issues in our marriage and how it's time to move forward but still even after all this time I still couldn't really give up hope on her waking up and realizing that there might be a change to rebuild something better than before. On December after minimal contact I asked her one last time if she would like another change and she told me she has already moved on. Icing on the cake was on New Year's Eve she took our kid to bad company to spend the rest of the week and wanted me to take the dogs so she could go somewhere for a travel. I felt that was very tasteless to tell me that in bad parenting to leave our kid where she left her so I went to get her. Besides those things it took her a month to tell me where she lives and she still hasn't invited me inside when I drop our kid to her place. After these events I've finally had enough. I used this time to heal, self-reflect and taking responsibility of my life. I'm working out, made healthy lifestyle changes, started studying psychology and philosophies. I'm going back to school and have invested in my family and friends. I'm in my prime age and this is not the end of my life, just a change of chapter. I gave her time and space but she is gone. I have treated her with respect and empathy but after these events I finally see we have truly grown apart and I don't know her anymore. I don't want to know her anymore. What I do know is that I don't deserve to be treated like this. I don't know how long she had her mask on and was hesitating faking her love. I don't know if she cheated but she definitely was waiting to be single. At this point I can say I've given my all and I have paid my debts. I gave my everything to our relationship and with knowledge I'm finally going to move forward and get further with my healing. I deserve a new beginning after this personal hell. No person is worth the wait when they have shown they don't value you anymore. I am valuable. I shouldn't have to beg or wait for someone to care for me. It has taken me way too long to understand this and believe her. She lost a partner who still would have done anything for her. I lost a partner who didn't care one bit anymore. Update, she was monkey branching. Everything makes sense now. During the breakup she wanted to help me financially, and talked about our mutual female friends that I could date them now that we are divorcing. I couldn't believe how she could talk like that. She didn't explain to anyone why she left me and didn't try to get compassion from anyone. She told me that no one needs to know the details, and to me it seemed fishy. She cut contact to friends who were neutral and had expressed how they want to keep in contact with both of us. I felt like she was feeling guilty about something, but since I had no evidence of cheating, I wanted to believe the best of her. After all, she was the girl I had started dating when I was 14 years old, and we lasted for 19 years. I've made huge steps in leaving the past and have felt really indifferent about her for a while. A week ago I heard from an old friend that he didn't have the heart to tell me previously, but like almost 7 years ago he had heard from a mutual friend they had binged my ex. I sent my ex a semi-furious text and she didn't need it, but I didn't answer. Well, this weekend I found out why we truly divorced. She called me yesterday and said that she would like to come to my place and talk about the accusation, and how she hoped I believed her. I said there is no need to talk, it doesn't matter at this point if it happened or not. After that she stayed on the line and basically was just quiet. It felt like she still wanted to talk, but I told that if that was that, let's cut the call. She calls me again and starts rambling about do I want to be transparent with her about our lives. I told her I don't see any point. We can talk about our kid, but you are part of the past, so Therese, no need for anything else. She still keeps going and I understand what she wants to say. I told her just say it, it's already clear what you want to say. She then tells me she has been seeing someone for 4 months, but it's casual. Not a relationship yet, we broke up 6 months ago. I'm happy that this conversation occurred on a phone. My heart was racing, but I was able to stay cool. I asked her if it's okay, I didn't want my kid to meet a new man yet, and she was okay with it. Then this day came. Ex was bringing my kid to my place and I asked her, tell me the truth, does our child know about the man? She said no, but she doesn't want to hold secrets, and the kid has heard her talking on the phone with him. I told her that I don't think it's wise to do that yet, now that our kid has finally started to settle in their new life. They had a serious breakdown in the early winter, and even in that situation my ex didn't accept that it was related to divorce. Then I saw her make the face. The same face she revealed to me during our crisis. If I ask or tell her anything, she gets stubborn and angry. I told her I'm not trying to control her household. I know I have no say in there, I'm just trying to think what's best for our kid. Her answer was I want to be open with our kid. I stopped the conversation since it was useless. This became a lot longer post than I thought, but I needed to give that information. Tonight I had a talk with my kid and told them how it's part of life that after divorce new partners will come at some point, but kids are always the most important thing for parents. Long story short, my ex had told them weeks ago how she has a new boyfriend. So my ex lied to me that our kid doesn't know yet. She had actually showed the man's pic for them. And wouldn't you know, the guy is her colleague. My ex worked crazy hours without any extra compensation. It was male-dominated office, and she had previously told me about getting attention there. All this time I took full guilt of our divorce when she was really monkey branching. But there is an amazing twist in this on a personal level. Me taking the blame, whipping myself mentally, crying to sleep, reflecting, meditating and feeling lonely with my ego and self-image shattered taught me so many lessons and improved my character. I have learned to be merciful to myself and others. Not to react with emotion. Value and love myself. My self-image is actually better than during our marriage, and it all comes to that it's not coming from an outside source. I am giving it to myself. No one will ever define my worth ever again. I value myself, I am number one in my life. I've been proud of myself, how I've handled the worst chapter in my life and how I have been emphatic through all this. I have wanted to understand my ex and why she left to pursue happiness away from family life with me. So many people have told me they can't believe how I've come through everything with calmness and wisdom. I'm glad I took the guilt, cause it made me a better person. This divorce is the biggest lesson my wife ever gave me, and I'm glad we are divorced. I don't want to think I wasted time with her, but can't really help it. At least I'm in my 30s, so Therese, lots of time left for my new life. I have stayed alone all this time because I realized I must do it to get independent. I had never been alone previously. And I do enjoy it very much nowadays. I'm happy and don't need anything I don't have. It would have been a mistake to rush to a relationship. But back to the just revealed info. This info doesn't hurt that much, but it disgusts me. She was and still is living a lie. How come she insisted to tell me about the man but still downplay how serious it is and lie about our kid knowing? She's so selfish, it's hard to understand. I feel humiliated. Also scared since I can't trust her at all, but I have to co-parent with her. I'm feeling kinda mad now and I don't want this to last. I want to get back to not caring. I know at this point that letting go is easier with sympathy. This info just proves that I can't trust her even in co-parenting, so I'm feeling kinda lost. At this point I have decided not to confront her yet. Her early actions have proved she felt some level of shame about all this and not going to help her come clean. She can do it on her own if the guilt ever comes too much to carry, or if I meet the man at some point. Worst is behind, that gives me peace and I will overcome this too. Edit, this day has been a roller coaster. Everything hit me in the morning and I broke to crying. Went to work and was mentally stuck. But after processing this all, I feel relief. This proves her low value. I have lost nothing valuable. I am free and tomorrow will be a better day. Update, boy meets girl. Boy, do I have a story to tell you. We separated last August after being together for 19 years. We started dating when we were teenagers. We are in our 30s now. Last week I found crucial info that proved my gut feeling was right, but I didn't want to believe anything bad about my wife back then. Now that feelings are gone, I realize she manipulated me and used gaslighting to skew my vision. I made a list of all the changes in her last year, and everything started in the end of 2019. She had started a new job few months earlier in a male-dominated office with diverse backgrounds. Before that, she worked in her parents' family business. The list. November 2019, a big overnight party with her coworkers. Late 2019, went crazy about Afrobeat music. This genre comes from Nigeria. December 2019, all of a sudden became very sexual for a few weeks. January 2020, started to lose weight. Big time. Early 2020, started to consider smoking WED. Not sure if she tried it. Early 2020, bragged how they're calling her Miss Company's name and how guys wanted to take group pictures with her at work events. Early spring 2020, was proud when she found out that her boss's son had seen her picture and said, "I want her number." June 2020, cautiously told me something's wrong in our relationship but wants to work at it. BTW, didn't do any work. July 2020, told me she wants to break up and seemed defeated that I wanted to fight for our relationship. July and August, she wrecked me mentally and emotionally. She was in a hurry to divorce. I did everything wrong and she became extremely cold and angry. She actually laughed when she saw my antidepressant pills that I had started. She told me that she hopes I can make her feel something on our anniversary, and day after that told me I had 1 month to make everything work, otherwise I should give her the divorce nicely, and wanted me to shake hands on that. August 2020, she pinpointed the reasons for divorce on me and I accepted the blame and told her we should divorce if she doesn't want to feel anything. Post agreement to divorce, she started to help me financially and told me how I could date our female friends. I couldn't believe her and knew she felt guilt but had no proof. Everyone saw the signs of cheating and my gut told me the same thing, but I didn't believe it. I owed her to defend her and believe the best of her. September 2020, we had lots of mutual friends but she immediately cut contacts on everyone. September 2020, she told me it's best we don't tell anyone about details of our breakup. This seemed fishy cause I believed I was the problem. Why would she protect my reputation? Late 2020, started to post about Nigeria's riots. This was her first political post ever. She just never cared what's going on around the world. Why now? Why Nigeria? The missing pieces were handed to me this month. She called me last weekend rambling how she wishes to be transparent with me. I told her I'm not interested. You are part of my past, so Therese, no need to share anything that's not related to our daughter. She kept at it and I realized she wants to tell me about a new man. I told her go ahead, it's quite clear. She told me she has started to see someone since December but it's not serious yet. Just casual dating. I asked her if it would be okay not to tell our kid yet and she agreed. I'm still oblivious. In thinking she's met someone new and rationalized everything with how she had already worked through the divorce while I was blindsided, so of course her recovery is faster. Then comes the next day and she drops my kid off. I ask her to step aside and ask her to tell me truthfully what our kid knows. She tells me that she hasn't told anything but is not going to live in secrecy. The kid has heard her on the phone with the new guy. I tell her once again I don't think it's wise to tell the kid anything yet since everything is so new and they are finally becoming stable in all these changes. She tells me she wants to be open with the kid and gets frustrated. At this point I know she can't handle anything if I disagree with her, so I disarm the situation saying just put children first and stop the conversation. Day later I had a talk with my kid and told them how it's part of life that after divorce new partners will come at some point, but kids are always the most important thing for parents. Long story short, my ex had told them weeks ago how she has a new boyfriend. So my ex lied to me that our kid doesn't know yet. She had actually showed the man's pic for them. And wouldn't you know, the guy is her colleague. Also a Nigerian. This explains interest in Nigerian culture and politics. My ex worked crazy hours without any extra compensation. It was male-dominated office and she had previously told me about getting attention there. All this time I took full guilt of our divorce when she was really monkey branching. I almost killed myself because of my failure. This knowledge actually set me free. I can finally see clearly. My instinct was right, but I was under manipulator's influence. Previously I thought that my ex was a gift that I had lost, but now I see, me losing her was the gift. I haven't lost anything of value. I'm finally free. This new information brings me to a new territory. She's been playing chess while I was playing checkers. Unfortunately I have a child with her, so I can't stop playing with her, but I can join her and move to playing chess too. I feel like everything has to be strategically planned out at this point. I knew that this info is not something I can react with emotion, so I let couple days pass by to cool down. I realize that confronting her now doesn't bring me anything. I have nothing to gain if she confesses or denies. No. This info is valuable and should not be given out without a thought. This is a wild card if used correctly, if it ever comes to that. I decided to test if she sticks to her story by acting like I know nothing and still believe her. I asked her to come talk with me. I told her that I think it's important that we respect each other as parents and put our child first. Basically I repeated things she told me and she stuck by them. She could have come clean and told that our kid knows already, but nope. I told her it meant a lot to me and how fair she was by telling me first about the man and not go to our child before that. That should bring some weight to her baggage if she has any conscience left. I also said if you've been dating him for a few months, it's not a good idea to introduce him to our child. She needs time to learn this man's values and how she behaves in a conflict. Lol. Tell the truth, you've been ducking for over a year, or stay silent and agree. You guessed it, stay silent. She agreed on everything and told me she's impressed how I've taken the news she's dating and she's read articles how to bring a new partner in this kind of situation in life, so it was clear to her to tell me first. She told me that for her it was important that she can share things because of our history. She told me that maybe it brings me relief that the man is a Christian. Cool, home-wrecking Christian. Great values. She also said that when time comes, I can tell her about my partner. She must feel so mighty with seeing me alone, but I told her that I know but am not in a hurry. We dated since teens and this is my first time to be single, so I want to keep self-improving and concentrate on myself without rush. She's very good at this. She seems so real in her lies that she must believe her story as well. We were very codependent throughout our relationship. I've now learned for the first time in my life to be independent and want to keep working on myself. I don't need outside validation to know I have value. When I go to a relationship, I want to be whole by myself and have healthy boundaries. The path she took doesn't give her independence, self-growth, time to reflect on lessons from past relationship, and is still based on codependency, especially since she cut all her friends off. I hope she got what she wanted with her affair partner. I wonder what is left when the excitement of cheating and secrecy is over and a normal relationship starts, especially since the foundation of their relationship is based on cheating. She is pretty, but that's all she can offer. She's one of the most boring persons you have ever come across, and her taking the guy's culture shows how empty and how impressionable she is. She's like dough. She doesn't deserve anything from me, not even a thought, but as a cautionary example of how rotten people can prove to be. I'm not going to help her come clean. It's not my responsibility to fix this anymore. Let her feel the weight of her decisions. Let her one day realize what she did with letting me take the fall for breaking our marriage and family unit just cause she doesn't have a spine, to be honest. I have closed the door and she will never have another chance. In the one that got away, she left me in ruins, but I have rebuilt myself. I'm bulletproof and am walking away as a new and improved man.